Jameis, we just trying to force the ball too much in those picks in the end zone, or what happened?
No. They just made a play on the ball.
I know you've been through a lot in your career. Another day like today with the interceptions and then not getting able to finish the game. How hard is that for you?
It's required for the quarterback to protect the football to give your team a chance to win, and the leadership decided that my time was up.
James, do you have any indication whatsoever whether or not you'll get to start next week in
Yeah, what's important is the most important thing is us just finding a way to win. Us finding a way to eliminate hurting ourselves, stabbing ourselves in the foot, whatever it may be, whether it's procedural, whether it's turnovers. As an offense, strong with the quarterback, we all have to play better.
You're not usually this short with your answers, James. Why is that? Why are you being that way today?
I'm not. I'm saying all that's required to say. Earlier, your question was that you insinuated that I forced a pass, and I did not. It was a scramble drill, and it was a one-on-one play in the back of the end zone, and the targeted receiver that I was throwing to thought that I was throwing it to someone else. So the way that you questioned that insinuated that I was doing something that I wasn't. So I answered your question as I was required to answer it.
One of them went off Nick's hands, so they all get credited to you, but not all.
Well, that's just the way it goes. Whether unfortunate or not, like my job, I take all of it, and that's to whom much is given, much is required, and I understand that piece. And I could have threw a better ball to Nick, but for Nick, like I just want Nick to feel better. I don't know what's his situation. I just hope that he's healing. So my job, like I've been in this position before. What's important is for me to do what I'm required to do, and that is to protect our team's football.
Kevin said he wasn't ready to talk about a decision for who's going to start moving forward. Is that something where you sit down with him and maybe state your case that you want to keep this job and you think you should keep?
Well, he's been coaching for a long time, and whatever he decides, like I trust it. I know what I'm capable of doing. But throughout the course of the season, especially the last few games where we have not had a game without a turnover, I think that's very critical, and that's going to be critical in his decision-making process. So I'm just going to continue to get better. I'm going to continue to keep my eyes forward and onward. And I got some things I got to work on. Like this is something that's been a part of my career, man. Like especially in 2019, like sometimes I view it as a spiritual battle. I'm going to continue to fight and continue to get better. I'm going to be the same guy every single day, regardless of what questions I might answer shortly.
Jameis, the pre-snap penalties, Kevin did mention that he took exception to a few of them, didn't necessarily agree with them, but that has been sort of an issue this year. Just from your perspective as a quarterback, what leads to those illegal formations?
Well, typically, in the pre-snap penalties that we had, typically our offensive linemen are given a warning if the official believes that they are too far in the backfield or something like that. And we never received a warning in that regard. And Jermaine hasn't had that penalty this year, so that's a questionable call. Obviously, the officials, they have to make their decision and they have to live with it. So we'll continue to fine tune those things.
Coach told us that Nick did break his foot. Just how hard is it for you to know that and hear that with everything he?
Well, I'm a talk with Nick. That's unfortunate, but I speak with him and make sure we keep him lifted up.
Jameis, why do you think this team has had the troubles with turning the football over?
Well, I believe like one that has something to do with me, right? I like to toss the ball around. I have to be more precise with my passes, and I have to just give us a better chance. And also, when you throw the ball a lot, that happens. Today it was different. Like today we had one tipped off a guy's finger. We had one that was a 50-50 ball, and the guy made the play. Like these interceptions, like sometimes they can be skewed to be something that's like, oh my gosh, it's decision making. But I just encourage people to go watch the film. Today, the first one that I threw, like, man, they got me on the disguise coverage. I didn't see the backside safety. Thought I was throwing a touchdown to Eliza, and the guy made a great play.
How do you kind of balance that, though, like playing within yourself while also being?
Well, you balance it, like, man, I promise you, I'm a fearless competitor, right? And I hold myself accountable for everything that I do. But there's something that I have to continue to work on, and it's something that I will continue to study and work on. I'm just not our slogan is be smart, not conservative. And I have to continue to look at the decisions and not the outcome.
James,
There's been a lot of things that have gone wrong this season and why you maybe haven't realized your goals for the year. Well, what do you think is the biggest reason why this team is 3-11?
Well, that's not my place, because it's a team game, man. And our men, they fight. You know, our coaches, they coach their tail off. You know, we don't know why things happen. It's our job just to continue to keep our faith, continue to press forward, and not focus on the negatives, but build on the positives and see how we can come out of it. Like in cases like this, man, we need one win, and like you're not gonna get a win when you're playing against a opponent that are finding a way to win like that, and you turning the ball over.
Jameis, you may have heard Miles talking about why it was so important for him to come back into the game after he suffered the eye injury, and how he's a fighter and he's a competitor and all those kinds of things. From your standpoint, how much have you given of yourself to this football team this season? Not just even in your
Every time I step out there, I give my all to this team, to this city, and I'm sure everyone in that locker room feels the same way. Like, this is our job, like this is our livelihood, man. Like, some people are playing for their families, some people are playing for the love of the game. Like, it's a lot of things that go into this. Just like everyone has their own perspective in their job, that why they're doing something that they do. We fortunately get to do something that we love, you know, and we put everything we got to into it, and that just shows about Miles' resilience for him to continue to endure. Like, he's a warrior, but we got a lot of warriors, and I'm talking about Joe Patino, who didn't practice all week, you know, but he was out there today, you know, going against one of the best defensive tackles in the league. Like, talking about somebody that's just resilient, you know what I'm saying? He's going down, chasing the ball down the field after interception and trying to make the tackle. Like, we're not going to give up, you know, but we will fix the things that are limiting us from reaching what our hearts desire.
You talked a lot. We talked a lot about Jerry, but he got 1,000 yards for the first time. He had another big game. He's stringing them together.
Yeah.
How nice is it that to see?
Yeah, like it's like throughout a game, you always gonna find some positive. And throughout the course of these games, one thing that has been positive is Myles Garrett and Jerry Jeudy. You know, and they're great players. And Jerry is a unbelievable receiver. I know he's gonna continue to have success, man. Especially within this offense. He's just a great player. He finds a way to get open. All right, thank y'all.